Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Ultima Replenisher. Ultima Replenisher electrolyte drink is balanced hydration. It contains 6 key electrolytes and is perfect for staying hydrated. Recently, I've been paying more attention on staying hydrated throughout the day. While I'm working, before I take a walk, I'm always trying to remind myself to stay hydrated. And Ultima Replenisher is the perfect way to do that. It contains 0 sugars, 0 calories, and 0 carbs, and there are no artificial sweeteners. And there are tons of flavors to choose from. This is the original variety pack, and this one is new to me. This is the Mocktini variety pack. So let's mix up my favorite flavor, which is lemonade. So I add the replenisher to the water. I like to add plenty of ice. Alrighty, let's give it a sip. Cheers. Icy cold lemonade, sweet, but not overly so, and very quenching. And not too salty. Ultima Replenisher is low in sodium, so you don't end up feeling bloated or it tasting too salty. So if you'd like to try Ultima Replenisher for yourself, head to the link in the description below and stay hydrated with Ultima Replenisher. Big thanks to Ultima Replenisher for sponsoring this video and for allowing me to make better videos for all of you. Alrighty, my lovies, today we're going to be making Texas Twinkies. Now, the story of how I arrived to this moment is a funny one. It happened during basketball season when my youngest had a basketball game and my spouse overheard a story, or thought he overheard a story about someone going home and having a Texas Twinkie. Now, neither of us knew what a Texas Twinkie was. My spouse presumed it was something to do with the bathroom, while I thought it was something to do with smoking, and both of us was wrong. A Texas Twinkie is something that you can eat, and apparently it originated from Hutchins Barbecue in McKinney, Texas, and it consists of a stuffed jalapeno wrapped in bacon. Now, the stuffing inside the jalapeno is a combination of cream cheese, brisket, and sometimes additional cheese and some barbecue rub. It sounds delicious, right? You've got smoky bacon, chili, peppers, cheese, and beef brisket. It sounds fantastic. Now, I live in New England and brisket is a little bit harder to come by than in Texas, but I did manage to get some, so I can finally give a Texas Twinkie a taste. So Twinkies are a little yellow cake made by Hostess, and you can buy them individually or in pairs. I had the hardest time finding a Twinkie. I had to go to 3 different places to find one, but they're little sponge cakes that are filled with cream. I have made a homemade version using a Twinkie Maker. If you haven't seen that video, you should definitely check it out. I'll put a link to it down below. But I thought for funsies, we could take a Twinkie and wrap it in bacon and cook one of those up as well, just for the fun of it. So the first thing we need to do is prepare our jalapeños, these beautiful peppers. So on the scale of heat, jalapeno peppers do have some heat, but they are not so spicy. I would say a serrano, a habanero, or a Thai bird chili all are spicier than an jalapeno. But we're still going to take out the seeds so that they're not too spicy. So you can slice them down the middle, and we're gonna take out the membrane and the seeds. Now, I found the membrane is actually what makes them more spicy. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting on one side of the stem, creating a little boat, and then this will be the top. I've seen other recipes that call for cutting a T into them and scooping them out that way, but I think this will be easier way to stuff them. So I'm going to do 6. Now we're going to take a spoon, a pointier spoon, and just scrape out the interior. If you want it to be spicy, you could keep some of that in there if you like, but then you won't really have room for your stuffing. So just take a spoon and haul them out. Oh, it smells great, fresh chili. So you can even get it almost in one piece. Look at that. Okay, so the peppers have been hollowed out and they are free of any seeds or membranes. Next, we're going to chop up our brisket. And this will make it easier to stuff. I've never tried making brisket or barbecue before. Don't really have the equipment for it, but when my family and I visited Memphis, we had some incredible barbecue. So I'm gonna chop this up finely. Now that we have our brisket chopped up, now I've got a block of cream cheese, and I think to make things easier, I'm going to cut this into kind of strips. Now we're going to stuff the jalapeno pepper with our cream cheese, just like this. Look, cutting it into strips is kind of helpful. So I'm going to fill it about halfway because we're going to add brisket to it as well. Now the cream cheese is going to add some richness, of course, and flavor, but it should also temper any heat. Chopped up all this cream cheese, but I don't think I'm going to use it all, just about half. Okay. It should be mentioned that whenever you're dealing with hot peppers and pepper seeds, to be aware of not touching your face, in particular not touching your eyes. It's not a good combination. Okay, now that we are cream cheese stuffed, we can add our brisket. Okay, actually before that, I'm gonna season my brisket up with a little extra barbecue seasoning. This is an all-purpose barbecue rub, just because I think it needs a little bit more. Let's taste it. Treat this like salt. It's salty. So now we're gonna take our brisket and pack it into our chili pepper. Some recipes I saw included more cheese, like a melty cheese, but I'm just going with cream cheese, keeping it simple. Okay, so I'm gonna evenly distribute my brisket among these peppers. Now we're going to put the caps back on. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Oh, now for the final step, we're going to wrap everything in bacon. And I'm using regular cut bacon, not too thick, just regular kind of thin style. And as neatly as possible, wrapping the jalapeno pepper in the strip of bacon. How beautiful is that? Doesn't that look great? Placing it on a baking pan lined with foil. Let's do another one. Look at that. Now I'm going to tuck the end on the bottom so that it doesn't unfurl while it's baking. Let us not forget the Twinkie. We're going to do a Twinkie version too. So we mustn't forget them. Twinkie injection holes. I want to make sure I have enough bacon to go around. Look at that. Look at that puppy. Does that make it a Texas Twinkie? I mean, y'all. Alrighty lovelies, now I'm going to pop this into a preheated 400-degree oven and bake them for about 50 minutes. Then I'm going to take them out and then brush on a little bit of barbecue sauce for a nice glaze and bake them for an additional 5 minutes. And by then they should be done. We want crispy bacon and a fully cooked pepper. Alrighty lovelies, I'll see you in a little bit so we can have our first taste of a Texas Twinkie and a bacon wrapped Twinkie. Should be good. Alrighty lovelies, the Texas Twinkies are complete. Look at them. Look at the Twinkies. They look a little overcooked, but the original Texas Twinkies look pretty great. Look at that. So you want to make sure the peppers are fully cooked and tender and that the bacon is crisp. And then I painted just a little bit of barbecue sauce for a sweet glaze on top. Wow. Alrighty lovelies, let's finally give our Texas Twinkies a taste. Look at them. They look great. Alrighty, let's give it a go. Oh yeah. That's what it looks like inside. You can see the cream cheese, the brisket, pepper, and bacon. Okay, first Texas Twinkie. Itadakimasu. Hot. Wow. So the combination of cooked jalapeno pepper and cream cheese in the middle reminds me of a chile relleno, but it is not deep fried. Instead, we have a big punch of smoke, both from the brisket and from the bacon. So everything's really, really smoky and flavorful. Tons of flavor going on here. And despite the fact that we took all of the membrane and chili seeds out, there's still some residual heat, which I appreciate. I like a little bit of heat. But then you've got the warm, creamy cream cheese inside, which kind of tempers things, along with this big barbecue-y punch. Nicely balanced in terms of sodium. I was a little worried that it would be too salty, but it's not. Pretty good combination. I also like the addition of the barbecue sauce on top. It adds a little bit of sweetness, kind of offset some of that sodium smokiness and rich, creamy cream cheese. It's pretty good. I really like the flavor of the chili pepper. Really great. Wow, that's fun. A Texas Twinkie, who knew? Alrighty, on that note, let's taste the actual Twinkie wrapped in bacon. Oh my gosh, it's totally glued to the pan. Look at the bacon wrapped Twinkie. It got very dark. I think we'll be able to salvage some of this. Let's take this end off. Look at the inside. Oh my gosh, it's absorbed all the bacon fat. Let's give it a bite. Itadakimasu. Well, no. If I were to make this again, I don't think I would, but if you want to try making bacon wrapped Twinkies, I think I would put them on a rack so that the grease from the bacon can drip away. Right now it absorbed all of the bacon fat. So it's very greasy and oily, but I have to say the combination of sweet vanilla Twinkie flavor cake along with smoky bacon is kind of a good combination somehow. Sweet and salty. So this definitely needs some tinkering if this is up your alley. I could see this selling at a state fair or some kind of event like that. Bacon wrapped Twinkies. Seems kind of perfect. There's also some user error here. I definitely overcook them. They probably should have come out about 10 minutes before the chili peppers. So yeah, then I would have avoided this kind of creosote concoction. But at least I tried it. So there you have it. Texas Twinkies. Now you can make them at home if you love chili flavors along with smoky barbecue flavors. I think you really like this one. Alright, my lovelies, thanks so much for watching, and big thanks to Ultima Replenisher for sponsoring this video. If you'd like to try it for yourself, you can click the link down below and stay hydrated with Ultima Replenisher. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Texas Twinkies, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I gotta love whoever came up with this one. Texas Twinkies. What a name. Alrighty, now I have to clean up. But my Texas Twinkie, what a disaster.